Vanguard families. My name is Jill Katavis, and I am the proud principal of El Modena. I know with the crazy start of school, there's been a lot of questions and angst out there. So by making this video, we hope to put a lot of your minds at ease and give you a lot of information about what's happening at El Modena and how we are prepared to serve your students this year. Don't worry about taking notes. We are going to post this video on our website. But before we get started, I'd like to introduce my administrative staff, starting with Mrs. Jimenez.
Hi, my name is Jeanette Jimenez. I'm the Assistant Principal of Curriculum, Counseling, and Instruction here at El Modena. This is my first year at El Modena, and I'm excited for the new school year. Melanie?
Hello, Vanguard. My name is Melanie Marita, Assistant Principal of Special Education. I assist with Student Intervention Team, Student Success Team to support our students and interventions for academic success. I also support our ELD, Science, AVID, CTP, and DMC programs as well. I'm looking forward to seeing families and students virtually and hopefully on campus soon. Please feel free to contact me if you need assistance with your students. And here's Mr. Strickland.
Hello, Vanguards. Welcome back. I'm Mr. Strickland, Matt Strickland, the Assistant Principal of Student Services. Very much looking forward to getting you back on campus as soon as we are able. I am in charge of Student Services, which deals with everything from activities and athletics to student discipline. Here's wishing you a great year.
Thank you, team. Now I would like to introduce our head counselor, Mrs. Echevarria.
Hey Vanguards, it's Mrs. Echevarria here from the counseling team. I wanted to let you know that even though we're virtual to start this year, your counseling team is here to support you. We do have a slight shift in the counselor assignments, as you can see, but as always, we're here and ready to help in any way that we can. El Modena counselors assist students with day-to-day support, college and career readiness. We know seniors that you have application season coming up. We're here to help you with that. Mental health support is something we can help with as well, and student and family advocacy. We know that our virtual circumstances are not ideal, and we look forward to seeing all of your faces on campus again, hopefully soon. In the meantime, please feel free to email us, call us, check out our Google Classroom and our website for resources to support you. We miss you, and we hope to see you guys soon. Stay strong, Vanguards.
Thank you very much, team. As we approach this virtual learning, we have adopted 4 core values that go with the acronym ELMO: equity, leadership, motivation, and ownership. And our focus is we want our Vanguards to stay connected with ELMO, using these 4 core values to approach their high school experience so that it can be as positive and as successful as can be. In order to elaborate a little bit more on what this means to be a Vanguard with these core values, I've invited some of my site teacher leaders to elaborate a little bit. So to start with equity, I'd like to introduce my activities director, Ms. Rivera.
Hi, Vanguard families. I'm Lori Rivera. I'm the activities director and yearbook advisor on campus. Equity is a huge part of leadership. We want to be able to engage and empower all of our students on campus. Last year, we were fortunate enough to have 56 different student-run clubs on campus for students to be involved in. These clubs were service-oriented, culture-oriented, or shared common interests. We will continue our clubs even though we are socially distant right now and remote learning. And we have club time built into our schedule at 2:35 in the afternoon for online meetings until we can be in person once again. If for some reason you cannot find a club you're interested in, go ahead and let's look at starting a club. Please contact me with any questions you have about clubs. But we really do feel that the best way to be involved on campus, in person or remotely, is to be involved in a club and have your voice heard and be engaged. Thank you, Vanguards. Now I would like to pass this along to Coach Ed Drzanek, our athletic director.
Thanks, Lori. Fire up, Vanguards! Basically, my name's Ed Drzanek, and I am your athletic director here at El Modena High School. Here, at Elmo, we offer 24 sports. And as you just heard, several clubs and activities. So get involved and have ownership of your school. So I will be speaking on a few points on leadership. Leaders are a positive influence in everyone's life and strive to make things better. Leaders do the hard thing. They take pride in everything they do, and they basically always have a can-do attitude. Leaders take responsibility and adjust to be successful. And finally, here at Elmo, you will be the difference making this school great. So thank you very much, and go Elmo. Turn this over now to Rich Simons, who'll be talking about motivation.
Hey, Vanguards. Well, that's a tough act to follow right there. So yeah, just real quickly about motivation. One of the things that we really hope that our Vanguard nation is motivated to do is to be successful, well-rounded individuals. And one of the things that we do to try to offer that is we have this really extensive career technical education program. My role at El Modena is to kind of facilitate that and make sure that it's running and available for the students. And so, you know, we have one of the most extensive programs in the Orange County area. And what we're really hoping is that these motivated students, what they do is they develop the skills that are going to give them the ability to land high-paying jobs that are going to allow them to, you know, go into positions that are going to lead to careers, or at the very least, be able to help pay for some of those college expenses that are going to be coming their way once they graduate. So by being motivated and getting involved and learning the career skills that they need, Vanguards are leading the way to be successful in their next phase of life. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Ponko now. He's going to talk about the ownership aspect.
Okay, hi everybody. My name is Jonathan Ponko. I am the intervention specialist here at El Modena High School. As part of the student services department, I work alongside Mr. Strickland to support students and families. Ownership for students to start this year refers to a student's ownership of their education. Students need to own their academics, their attendance in class, and their own individual actions. This means attending school on time, asking for help when you need it, and even helping out your fellow classmates. So with that, ownership is a huge part of the high school experience and helping you to unlock your full potential for the rest of your lives. And with that, I will hand it over back to Principal Kotevas.
Thank you, team. We strongly believe that if students really use these values intrinsically, their whole high school experience will be better and more successful. And if you haven't realized already, one of the most special things about El Modena is how student-centered our staff and school is. So now moving on to the 3 phases of reopening with this remote learning environment and what's going to come next. So phase 1 is exactly where we're going to start our school year, which is the remote learning, which I will talk about a little bit more extensively. Phase 2 will be when Orange County comes off the governor's watch list and we are able to have face-to-face instruction, but we need to adhere to local and current health guidelines. I think that this has been the area that I've received the most amount of questions from the community. So there's a very extensive health-driven school reopening plan, which we put the link on this presentation for you to look at. It talks about all kinds of things that are going to be happening on campus as far as cleaning and safeguards that are going to be put in place. But it is ever changing as the guidelines are updated. And so we will continue to keep this updated and you informed as we get closer to this stage. And hopefully that's going to be very soon. The last phase of reopening is the traditional face-to-face learning that we're used to seeing. So to start off, I'm going to get a little bit more into the remote learning so that we can kind of understand what the school year is going to start out and look like, and what you can expect from our school and what your student needs to do to help themselves be successful. The first thing is our bell schedule. We are going to be dividing our students or our classes into cohorts of 3, which means that instead of doing our normal rotating bell schedule, our students will go to periods 1, 3, 5 every single day for the first term. And then at the October 14th, which is typically the end of the first quarter, they will have completed a semester's worth of courses. So during the remote learning, our students only have to focus on those 3 classes. If they have a 0 period, that's going to follow the more traditional model, which that will go through the second term, which I'll get into a moment. But the idea is that if we have to go into phase 2, they're only going into 3 classes. So their interaction with cohorts of other students is reduced. We also feel like having fewer students, fewer classes, our students can better manage their assignments. And we also feel like our teachers can provide more targeted instruction and learning opportunities for students when they have fewer students at a given time. So up until October 14th, students who have 0 period will attend their 0 period plus periods 1, 3, 5 every single day. And then at the conclusion of October 14th, we will convert into term 2, which would be the even day class periods, 2, 4, 6. Again, 0 period would meet daily. If they have a 7th period athletic period, that 2 would meet according to whatever practice schedule that their coach gives them. So that's how our schedule works. And then after the conclusion of 5th period or 6th period at 1:35, our teachers will have structured class meeting times and office hours for students. And then after that time at 2:35, we will have club meetings, tutoring, etc. available. Next slide, please. So to talk about the remote classroom a little bit, which is a change from what we saw in the spring, teachers will log on and will be logged on from bell to bell the entire class period. This will enable our teachers to be available to students throughout the period. Every class will run a little bit differently. I wouldn't expect a teacher to lecture for the entire class period because that's not good instruction. Really what we're looking for is our teachers to provide new content information, new concepts, and at some point during the lesson, the students would move into groups or individual practice where they can start to work on their own to really grapple and learn and master the material. The teacher will be available as the students are working through this. If they have questions that they can ask the teacher. They will receive consistent instruction aligned to content standards. And throughout the lesson, they will have opportunity to engage with their peers and participate in different group activities. We think that this is really important and will be invaluable to their learning process. Next slide, please. As I mentioned earlier, teachers will have office hours where they'll be available to provide additional support to our students. These office hours will be 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, Friday, from 1:35 to 2:05. The teacher will work with students to determine exactly how they, whether it'll be one-on-one, on the phone, they'll log into the Google Classroom. The teachers may ask the students to come in for additional help. So the structure of it will vary a little bit based on the needs of the student, but we will have those 4 days of structured office hours where the students can loop back to their teacher for follow-up, clarification, or questions to be answered. Wednesdays will remain our sort of modified day for teachers to do our own professional development and learning as we best prepare to continue supporting our students. Next slide, please. One of the things that's really important to us is for the students to stay connected and stay engaged in learning. So these are strategies that we believe are going to make the students most successful in this remote learning environment. One is to log in with their video every day. Log in at the beginning of the period when the teacher's doing that direct instruction so that they can understand and engage with their classmates. We like the video. It really helps the teachers better make sure the students are staying focused. We can also read their faces if they're having questions. So we'd really like to see that. We want our students to communicate with their teachers regarding questions, or if there's other issues, we can give them referrals to their counselors, but we want to be able to support the entire student and their entire experience. Do their assignments on time. A lot of our assignments are scaffold. It's kind of like in basic math. You don't learn to subtract until you add. And so if students are turning assignments in late, they're just getting further and further behind as the teacher moves on to the next stage and they haven't mastered it. So we really want your support. Our teachers are going to be posting their lessons every day, the assignments and the due dates, so you can better follow along and support your child at home. We want our students to check their email at least once a day. As you know, if you are a returning student to Orange Unified, all of our students got a Gmail email address. And so our teachers and counselors will be communicating with our students using that. And so it's really important that they check in. The other thing is, in remote learning, plagiarism can be a challenge for us. We want our students to do their own work. That's how they learn. So we want to make sure that they're doing their own work, because that's how they earn credit for their class. Next slide, please. Attendance. Attendance is obviously very important. If you're not in class, you're not learning. As part of the Senate Bill 98, the students are expected to be in attendance virtually each and every day. And we will be taking attendance and notifying parents if students are not in attendance in class. If students are a no-show for over 3 consecutive days or 60% in a week, you will be contacted so that we can work together to figure out why the student's not attending and how we can help and make sure that they do. The learning is important and it's critical to their success. Next slide. Expectations for behavior. Even though the student may be at home, they are still in a virtual classroom. So classroom etiquette is very important. So we need to make sure that we're dressed appropriately, watch our language, follow the teacher's direction, and just remember that people are viewing you and listening. They should put the cell phones away during class so that they can focus on the teacher. Students will be held responsible for their behavior in the classroom, as well as social media, other activities that impact their learning or that of other students. We want to make sure that we have a positive environment for everyone, and so we want to make sure our students are behaving appropriately during these especially very difficult times. Next slide. Grades and progress monitoring. We encourage the parents to stay informed by checking the parent portal gradebook often and reaching out to the teacher if you have any questions. However, we will be sending out progress reports every week through our Aries gradebook. So every teacher who's on Aries, which is about 99% of our teachers, you will get a weekly update. For teachers who are not on that grading system, they will have another method to communicate with you regarding their child's grade. If you have any questions regarding your child's progress or any assignments, reach out to the teacher, and our teachers are committed to responding within 24 hours. Obviously, business hours, Friday to Monday. Next slide, please. The first day of school, that's Wednesday, August 19th. So let's be ready, students. We want you to make sure you pull your final schedules off the student portal. You could actually probably check those on Tuesday. They should be updated, but it's always good to double check on Wednesday. Zero period will meet. So make sure that if you have a 0 period class that you're ready to log in for 0 period. Your teacher will be there. Log on to the Google Classroom. And remember, it's odd periods only. So it would be 0, 1, 3, 5. Or for those of you who don't have a 0 period, it would just be periods 1, 3, 5. Next is a little video to show you and your student how to log on to Google Classroom.
Greetings. The purpose of this video is to provide instructions for students as they begin the 2020-2021 school year for distance learning in accessing Google Classroom pages managed by our awesome OUSD teachers. The first step is to begin at the Orange Unified School District website, orangeusd.org. At the top of the page, click My OUSD Dashboard. You will then be prompted to log in with your student's My OUSD login credentials. Once in the My OUSD dashboard, find the Google Classroom icon to take you to Google Classroom. In Google Classroom, starting on August 19th on the first day of school, you should see a list of Google Classrooms, each with a title. For elementary students, you will see courses marked with the teacher's name and grade level. For secondary, middle, and high school students, each classroom will start with a period followed by the course subjects. In this case, period 1, English, period 3, math, and period 5, world history. Clicking the title of this course will take you directly to the Google Classroom for your class or classes. If you have any questions about accessing Google Classroom, please contact your teachers directly by email. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. One thing to keep in mind is that El Modena is committed to the success of all of our students, as well as their safety and the safety of our staff. During the remote learning time, our El Modena office will be open from 7:30 until 4 o'clock. So please call our office if you have any questions. However, we are trying to keep visitors to a minimum to protect our staff as much as possible. So we will try to conduct any meetings or conferences virtually. That does not mean that we will not hold them face-to-face, but we would appreciate appointments scheduled in advance so that we can have the staff here to meet with you. We appreciate your support with this. Next slide. Again, our goal is for our students to stay connected with ELMO, E-L-M-O, and we have a contact list of our teachers and staff that you can link to, and make sure that our students are staying connected. You have the contact information for administrators. You have the login information for Google Classrooms. We will send weekly updates via email, and their school home communication emails that we do will also be posted on our website. It's a wealth of information, so please make sure that if you have any questions that you use that amazing resource that we've created. Thank you so much, Vanguards, for tuning in. We're looking forward to a great year. It's my honor to be your principal. It's my honor to work with this amazing staff who is so incredibly student-centered. Go Vanguards.